everybody. Welcome back to another Wednesday episode of Big D's and Liam's Custom Garage. I'm Big D.
No, Liam.
And on today's episode, I am going to be working on the cylinder head some more for Project Dark Sin. I am going to show you guys how to finally port match on the intake side and going to completely port one of the whole entire intake valves for you guys to show you how that goes. And what's Liam going to do today?
I'm working on Project Void's paint still. It's a long process. Sanding out some of the paint that I added before and seeing how that turned out, and possibly start doing some clear coat. And there's also a scratch on the top I want to mess with.
Yeah.
So we'll get working on that.
Okay. Well, with that being said, you guys enjoy today's video and we will see you at the end. What we are doing today on Dark Sin, we're back to working on the heads, as you guys can see. I've already been working on them off and on because it's going to take a while. But we're doing the port matching today on the intake side. As you guys can see, I have the gasket laying in place for you guys. I put a bolt in one end just to hold it. You guys can also see both these ports here are completely done. And then these are the ones I'm going to be working on for you guys today. Now, you can see all the excess metal there compared to here. That is the excess metal is what we're removing to port match, get everything flowing good. So I'm gonna lift the gasket up out of the way real quick. Now, what you're gonna do is, if you guys can see, you're gonna use a Sharpie or Liam, what's that other stuff called? Blue, what? It's a die
coat.
Yeah, blue die coat. You can use a Sharpie or blue die coat on it to...
Die-co or die-coat?
It's either die-co or die coat.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So what it does, basically same thing that the Sharpie does. You're going to take your gasket, you're going to line up everything perfectly. Put your tabs at the edge of your head on both ends. Make sure all your holes are lined up perfect. The good thing is if you do this before having your heads worked at the machine shop, if you lift your gasket up, you can kind of see factory staining from your previous gasket. So therefore, there's staining where the gasket goes around the bolt hole. So if you just drop that down like that, and you line that up like that, and then you come over here, see, that hole's lined up there perfectly. And then you come over here, that tab's perfect, both ends already. So you get those perfectly lined up. Then once you get that perfectly lined up, you're gonna come along with your Sharpie or your die coat or die-co, and you're going to mark all that excess metal that needs to be removed. And then you're going to use your different bits and start removing them. Now let me lift the gasket out of place so you guys can see. Now, all that metal has to be removed and it has to be feathered into the wall of the cylinder head. As you guys can see here, okay, hold on guys, I'm having to hold the gasket up out of the way. Anyway, as you guys can see here, yes, I got into the surface of the cylinder head a little bit jumping out. The good thing is the heads are going to be getting surfaced, so it will cover that all up. But anyway, so see how it's all, I've tapered it all in. That's what you need to do. You got to remove all your excess metal. Also, rule of thumb, when you're doing the intake side, okay, like you guys saw on the exhaust side, we polished the exhaust side, okay? Intake side, you do not polish. You have to leave it rough textured, because that rough texture, what that does is it helps with the velocity. It helps mix your air and fuel together as it's flowing into the cylinder. So do not sand these smooth, okay? And as you guys can see, me and Liam are both working exactly at the same time. So I'm doing the cylinder heads, and Liam is still continuing on his paint. So you guys will also be getting a video of that also today. So there'll be some bouncing back and forth. So please enjoy the videos. Me and Liam will be switching in and out from hyperspeed to regular speed off and on throughout today's video. So enjoy.
Hey everybody, Liam here. I was just sanding out this crack on the top of the car here, or the scratch. I mean, it was a pretty deep scratch. I'll try to find a picture of it before. I just wanted to see how much it would. I didn't think it would sand out this much. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to fill now is just the paint and those dark spots. I'm gonna try to sand it out more just to see if I can get more of it out. But yeah, that looks like it's gonna sand out and touch up nicely once I put a lot of paint into it. I'm also working on the front of the car. We're kind of going back and forth as my back kind of hurts, like sitting down and leaning over the car and stuff like that, and taking breaks. As you can see, the paint spots where I've put touch-up paint on this side. And this side is where I sanded them out. I'm pretty much gonna do the feel test. If I can't feel the chip anymore with my finger, I'm gonna try to do some test clear coats on some of them and see how they come out. But the bigger ones, the ones I can feel with my finger, I'm gonna keep filling and sanding and see. Hopefully it finish the hood soon. It seems like we've had an issue with our heating part of our cooling system. The hose was getting a little heated up. You might be able to see that right there. Kind of get the glare in the light. See that rough part right there? That's actually cracked, and there's a hole there. Just from the overheating of being near the EGR pipe going across the back of the engine.
Let's show them real quick. So remember how we were having problems with the EGR pipe when we did the cooling rerouting system, and you can see that metal EGR pipe right there. It's a crossover. The heater hose wasn't touching it, but it passes over the top of it, and because of that, the heat coming off of it started blistering the bottom of the heater hose enough that it started spraying fluid. So Liam,
we're going to replace the hose, of course. We got plenty of hose.
We're gonna go ahead and replace both hoses just to prevent any future issues. But anyway, going back to what Liam's showing us.
And we're going to wrap the one closest to the EGR tube with heat wrap, and probably hold it on there with either zip ties or probably more hose clamps loosely tightened onto the hose so it doesn't move around or expose the part of the hose that was being roasted by the EGR tube.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do.
Just wanted to show you guys that real quick. So yeah.
And here we go.
Okay guys, there you go. Just wanted to show you guys real quick. She's fixed. Hose is a little bit longer than she was before, but there you go. We ended up having to make it longer because we made it our own, so it's coming and snaking up and around and then back into the, see, there it is. I went too far with it. So it goes there, comes around under the other heater hose. Then there's the heat wrap on it that looks like aluminum foil, and then into the water neck on the back of the motor. So there you go. So as you can see in the hyperlapse, I went ahead and finished up a whole entire intake port for you guys from one end to the other. And as you can see, all the rough edges are gone, except for right down there. I couldn't really get to it. There's a little bit of a spot right there, but you know, what are you going to do? I got the majority of it all on this particular one for you guys. There's our beautiful same port that I was just showing you from the other end. Look at that. It looks like a damn water slide in there. Just not as smooth as your water slide, because you got to leave them rough. You cannot sand these babies out. You got to have that rough texture in there for it to, I say rough texture, but it's not baby butt smooth is what I'm saying. But all those little just slight ridges like that you see in there are just enough to stir up that air and fuel like it's supposed to. But that's that one. So there's those. Oh, and just in case you guys were wondering, since we didn't show you guys last weekend, or last Wednesday I should say, if you were wondering where Dark Sin is, there she is in all her glory in her new home. She's up on jack stands right now, sitting nice and level, but she's on jack stands. Sitting like this is temporary. Me and Liam are going to be putting in a paver patio here in the very near future for Dark Sin to sit on. But just thought I'd show you guys that real quick. Anyway, we will be right back with you guys in just a second.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm back with a paint update. As you can see, I have put the clear on now. You can see all my little sanding swirl marks. I put the clear on over the ones that needed it, and I actually put some more paint on ones that needed that. So I'm kind of almost done with the hood, and I'll update you on the scratch over here too. I put paint in that and built it up, several layers. As you can see, that nice silver line going across the top there inside the swirl marks. So I'm going to let that cure, and then I'm going to attack it with probably 15, and just work my way down to 3,000 again. Of course, wet sanding. So yeah, that's the paint update. We still have some other stuff to work on. There's that chip there. There's still like little chips on that. And we have the big things on the bumpers, of course. I'm going to update you on those. As you can see, yeah, there's big.
Show them what we discovered about the turn signal.
Yeah, turn signal looks like something happened there. I don't know. Looks
It
like a
got
piece.
pushed by the
Looks like it
wall.
was glued before and like a piece fell out. I don't know. I just never noticed it if it was there before. So there's the scratches on the bumper. There's one on the back that's even worse, but it's kind of in the dark right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, it's a work in progress, and I'm going to try to finish it up this week. So I'll keep you guys updated.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, as you guys saw, it was a pretty eventful day today.
Yeah.
I worked my butt off for you guys, and boy, that intake port came out amazing.
Yeah, it looks pretty
I'm
good.
loving it. That thing is going to be flowing some nitrous. And yes, some of you guys might go, oh, he kind of got into the valve seat. Well, not all that concerned with that, because they're being changed because we're going with 202 160 valves. So if I nicked one of the valve seats a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. They're being driven out and replaced anyway.
Yeah.
So don't be concerned with that.
I got pretty far. Got the clear coat on. Still, some chips need some paint, and the scratch on the top's looking wonderful. I got that paint built up. I got
Yeah,
it all
it is.
sanded out and everything. So hopefully that turns out really well. Looks like it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it actually, it sanded out and cleaned out pretty good, the initial scratch. It actually,
Yeah.
for being as rough looking as it was, it actually, Liam, he put in his work on it, I can tell you that much. That scratch, that took more work than I would say anything else he did today,
Mm.
but it's almost like as soon as you sand that down, you know.
As soon as I sand it down flat, it should blend right in.
Yeah, it's gonna like completely vanish. You guys won't even notice it was there.
You just have to
That was like
buff
the,
things really well.
that was pretty much the worst scratch on the whole car.
Yeah,
I think there's,
except for the ones on the bumpers.
yeah,
They're just gnarly because it's plastic. That's all.
yeah, because plastic gouges easy, you know.
Right, that's pretty much
But
it.
yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this week's episode. Next week's episode, we're gonna be doing something a little different.
Yeah, we're gonna build a new.
We're going to be building a brand new workbench for the shop. So be looking forward to that. We will not be working on our cars per se. Just gonna build a nice new workbench for the shop. So
Maybe an update on some of the paint work I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna continue the work.
Yes.
And I'll just pop in with updates on that weekly. So
yes, yeah, pay attention to like our Instagram and stuff for that too, because we also like to post little sneak peeks and updates and stuff like that on our Instagram and our Facebook account and stuff like that. So make sure if you guys have not checked those out yet, to please do so. Go check out all of our social media platforms.
including Discord, where you can get to be part of the conversation on our live stream on Friday nights.
Yes. And yeah, like the videos, and if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. We would greatly appreciate it. Please spread the word amongst your friends and family. Even if you're not a automotive person, or if they say that they're not an automotive person, they might know somebody that is and might enjoy our videos. So please spread the word. We greatly appreciate it. And hit the bell icon over in the corner so you get first alerts every time we go live or post a new video. We will see you guys this Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time for our live stream car talk and other things with Liam and Big D right here on our YouTube channel. With that being said, I'm Big D,
And I'm Liam.
and we're out.